Hey, Forney Fence, welcome to the Foundry, something brand new that we are starting just for you. My name is Nick Edwards. I've been a longtime partner and business coach with Forney Fence, and really is an honor to bring you this next step of development, of culture, of community, and really building something special for this organization. Ralph, man, this is really your vision, and you're, man, something you've been thinking through and praying through for a long time now.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, first of all, who are you? And if people don't know you in the company, kind of what's your role?
Okay. Well, just totally transparent. My brother owns Forney Fence. That's why I'm here. So,
well,
no, I can't.
that may be how you get
Yeah.
started. I mean, that's
Well,
not why you're
right.
here.
I came on 3 years ago to help him develop the real estate locations for our company. That in itself is a full-time job. He didn't have time to do that at the level he wanted to do it, and he wanted to open a couple locations. So I came on board and brought my 35 years of commercial real estate financing and construction, and I brought that on board here, and to do that. And we opened up 2 stores in 18 months over the last 3 years, and so yeah, and then
Yeah, it really has been a wild journey going from Forney to
yeah,
Buda, Willow Park, and then opening Gunner and San Antonio.
it's Buda.
Buda. I'm sorry. ATX, whatever.
get that right.
I'll make sure I fix that.
But yeah, it has been.
And I'll just tell you, this part of this conversation is it's going to just be raw. It's going to be some conversations
Right.
about life, leadership, business. We're going to talk about culture and what does it mean to be a leader in the world today. We're going to talk about
Right.
all things. So yeah, we're going to correct each other and continue to grow along the way as we talk to more people. All right. So you really helped the development and starting of San Antonio and Gunner.
Right.
So when did each of those locations open?
Yeah, so we opened up Gunner. That was a ground up. We opened that up in December of 2025. We opened up San Antonio. December of 2024. We opened up San Antonio store, which was an existing building that we converted to one of our lay down yards and stores in June of 25. So Gunner, December 24. San Antonio,
6 months later.
Yeah, 18 months. We opened
Yeah.
up 2 stores. So
Yeah, I remember going through that process and
yeah,
meeting with Rex and just the team and just going, okay, let's open a store. Let's open 2 stores. They'll be a year apart or
Yeah,
so.
that-
No, they hit very fast.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me the Foundry. That's where we are at today.
Mhm.
And really starting looking at a next level of personal, professional development
Right.
for the entire organization. What's kind of your vision for this?
Yeah. So my background is in commercial real estate, banks. I cut my teeth in banking and had success in banking in the commercial real estate side, and advanced up into the executive levels of the banks. I during that time, at one point, I guess at the peak of my banking career, I was executive vice president of I think we're $2 billion bank, which doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but we had
It seems like a lot.
200 employees, and so that's when culture really became real for me. So I've always known the importance of that, because we had a great culture at our bank, and then we had a turnover, a change in ownership, and our culture was not as deep as it should have been. And so we had people start leaving, and unfortunately the good people left and the bad people stayed. And we looked up 2 years after a 15-year good run. We looked up, and our company had a bunch of bad people. All the good people had left.
Wow.
And me and the president of the bank were the only 2 left there, but under a non-compete. And so we had to figure that out, and so we started. We got with Paul, and we started putting together a culture. Like, what was our culture before, and what worked, and what didn't work, and we started putting that together. So I bring that to the table for Rex, besides the real estate.
So what's
experience
your
itself.
actual title right now?
I am the real estate development director.
Okay, so
And
I'm just going to tell Rex and JV, we're just going to change your title. Can we just officially change your title right
Yeah.
now? Let's call you the culture coordinator for the entire organization.
Does it come with a raise?
That's beyond my pay. I don't have anything to do that. But here's one. Okay, so
Does it come with a raise, Jeff? That's how. No.
so a few weeks ago, I got to interview the head coach for Texas Tech football,
Right.
Joey McGuire. Got to interview him. And so I was talking to him about what's your role and how do you keep culture and how do you build culture with
Right.
NIL deals and coaches moving in and out, players moving out. How do you build that? And he said, I have an offensive coordinator, I have a defense coordinator, I have a special teams coordinator, but as head coach, I am the one who is the culture coordinator.
Right.
And really that's a little bit of your position now
Yeah.
of being this culture coordinator and building something that holds all the parts of the organization, the business together that impacts finances, it impacts team, it impacts the local branch, right? And
Right.
it impacts from the top down to every single person is impacted. Because when I think about it, a culture determines, do I want to be a part of this team?
Yeah.
Right? So how have you seen culture play out for Forney Fence?
Yeah. So that's Nick, that was one of the things that I'm very curious about this and now that I'm in my brother's company and see that they've had a 20-year run, they've done a lot of things. They've been doing the right things for a long time. You don't have that kind of success unless you've been doing the right things for a long period of time. So I became curious. Okay, what is it about the culture? Because I mean, I'm a third party observer because I'm not involved in the management of the company not in the grind. So I was able to just look at it from 30,000 feet. Say, what is it about this culture that has given them success? And then so I was very curious about that, and I noticed two things: that it's a very hard business, and it's very taxing from management to the driver to the yard. You're working in the weather. You've got customers. There's everything that is a challenge for a business is involved in Forney Fence Supply and the supply side of this. And then we didn't have turnover. I noticed we didn't have turnover. So we have an environment that's very taxing on people mentally and physically,
Yep.
and we don't have turnover.
Yeah.
With my experience with the companies that I've banked over the years, when you have those combinations, you have lots of turnover. And I didn't see that. I was like, okay, what is it? What is it about the culture here that is different? And that's when I really realized, man, this is something that we need to tell this story. And not from a standpoint of look at us at what we are, it's what we are becoming and how that purpose has continued to evolve and where we have areas we need to work on, right? One thing I don't think that we have right now, I know we don't have, is it's not deep in our organization, like to where it's at the high levels, but it's not deep. And I wanted to go deep into our company.
I think that's really important. And what does it mean to go deep? It means that everyone is living out the vision, living out what's the goal. And so we sell a lot of fence panels and a lot of pickets and a lot of supplies, right? But it's more than that. We only sell these things as part of the objective of being able to provide for people's family, be able to impact the spiritual, personal, and professional lives of all we encounter.
Right.
It's part of the bigger goal than just selling the next thing.
Right.
So remind us all, what is the vision statement for Forney Fence?
The vision statement for Forney Fence is to forge long-term relationships that have a meaningful impact on the personal, spiritual, and professional lives of everyone we encounter.
Yeah, we're going to impact spiritual, personal, and professional lives. So the Foundry, this is all about helping to develop you both personally, professionally, and spiritually.
Right.
And so as we go throughout this process, we're going to have everything from leadership development to finance help to understanding. We're going to do some, Rex may not even know this yet, but we're going to have him on here at different times and be able to say, hey, you're a warehouse guy in Willow Park. You are a driver based out of Gunner. You are whatever role.
Mm-hmm.
You have a question for leadership you want to ask Rex, and we're going to put him on the spot and say,
ask Rex any question.
Ask me anything. And we're going to put Rex on the spot so that everyone knows who we are and how this really filters down.
Right.
And that every decision's based upon living out this vision of impacting lives. And so we want to be able to do that. And so we're going to go through all kinds of different topics and all kinds of different issues about culture and life and leadership, personal development.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have interviews with different team members on here and to be able to share their wisdom. And so, when I think about this, it's called the Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about this and how do we even kind of come up with this name? And we were talking about this vision of forging long-term
We were
relationships.
going to call it Forge.
We're going to call it the Forge.
And
I
then
still
Jeff-
I still like the Forge, but JB trumped us on that. All right. And so what is a foundry?
Yeah. Well, the Forge is what happens inside a foundry. So for me, the foundry is the place that makes the Forge possible. So the infrastructure, the people, the foundry actually makes the forging of the steel possible. So to be able to forge growth and motivate people and grow people spiritually, personally, and professionally, the foundry, the leadership of the company, the ownership of the company, develops that culture to do that, puts it in place, right? You know, the thing is that I say it doesn't go deep in our company. It goes deeper than most places.
Absolutely.
The foundry in our culture, in our company, is pretty deep.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I want to highlight in this process is, you know, I've got a lot of people come to mind, but we've got people out there that are managing the in the grind every day that they have a lot to say about this stuff and about conflict and about communication, about emotional intelligence. They have so much to say, and so those testimonials and those experiences I want to pull out and share with everybody.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So the foundry is the place that steel is forged, right? It's the melting, the
Right.
molding of steel, which means it's got to go through some heat. It's got to go through some pressure.
Yeah.
It's got to be over and over, put in the heat and put in the cold, put in the heat and put in the cold, so that it begins to develop strength and more strength and more strength. And that's what we really want to see happen. It reminded me of Proverbs 17:3 says, "The crucible is for silver and the furnace is for gold, and the Lord tests hearts." So how steel is melted down in order to be forged,
Yes.
that silver and gold also have their own process.
Right.
And that gold goes into a furnace and it's heated up and it's heated up more. And the more heat it goes through, the purer it gets. All the impurities are melted away. But for silver, it goes into a crucible. That's this big clay pot that takes an incredible level of heat. And as the silver melts, the dross, the impurities actually raise to the surface. And so you have to skim off the impurities. And I
Right.
think that's what we're always trying to do with culture,
Right.
with business, with any organization, even with our own lives, right? Is get rid of the impurities and the things that drag us down. Well, the foundry is the same way.
Right.
We're going to put some heat
Yep.
on people. We're going to put some heat on ourselves. We're going to expose some things even within ourselves as we go
Right.
through this conversation to be able to expose some things within us that hopefully gives encouragement and strength, not just information, but information that leads to transformation.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so as we go through this process, I'm excited about it.
Yep. I am too.
What are you most excited about for this process?
I'm most excited about. One thing about the role that I'm in, I get to meet everybody in the company, and I get to hear the stories from everybody in the company, and I get to talk about their disc profile. I get to talk about their families and how they got to where they are, and how they truly, genuinely, their purpose is to show people Christ. And I get to now that with this program, with this culture that we're working on, the Foundry, those stories get to be told, and you and I get to be the ones that bring those stories to the surface.
Yeah.
And now people get to hear themselves say it and say, you know, I actually do have something to say.
Sure.
I have a lot to say about that, and about the mistakes I've made, and the places I've been. So we get to hear from our people, and then the world gets to hear those stories. And because, you know, a lot of people inside our company would never be able to hear. I think, like, for instance, Elizabeth in our company, I think she's got incredible insight and natural gift and God-given
Huge shout out
gift
to Elizabeth. She's
for conflict
yeah.
and communication and emotional intelligence in the workplace. She's really, really good. And she hasn't been with our company very long, but she earned my respect just in a few encounters with her for her to be able to talk about that and for her people to be able to hear her passion for that, that's invaluable just for our company.
Yeah.
But then what about the world that gets to hear that?
Sure.
If that ever gets to be, if God ever gives us that stage,
Yep.
maybe. If he does, there's a lot to be said there. So that's what's exciting for me is I get to get those out there, the testimonials and the stories out there for the people that I think make our company have the purpose that it has and the longevity that it has. It's success.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to be able to tell stories. We're going to be able to add value to people's lives.
Yes.
And really help strengthen their personal, professional, and spiritual life.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yep.
So let me tell you a little bit how this is going to work. Over the next several weeks, you're going to receive an invitation to watch a couple of these different videos, and then you're going to receive an invitation to join a brand new platform that we've created just for our organization. We're going to see where it goes from there, but we're going to start with creating some resources on this brand new platform, all free to you, to be able to find and look at more resources, everything from health resources to spiritual resources, all these, and we're going to continue to build them out for you. Be looking forward to that. Be looking forward to how you can join that community and that online platform where we'll have these conversations. We're going to have more teaching. We're going to have some interviews.
Yep.
We're going to have some different things that help add value to your life. We're going to keep these at 15 to 20 minute max. The whole goal is how do we add value to you and give it to you right there in your hands where you can watch it on your phone. You can watch it not at work. JB will get on to us for that. But maybe on your drive home or something like that in order to be able to listen to it, in order to add value.
Right.
And so thank you so much for being a part of this. This is The Foundry. This is session 1. We've got a lot more to come.